I've heard you say this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, I'm sure it's the tip. I mean, all the things, I spent 4 years researching this book, but I mean, even so, it's only the testimony of the people I found, and I only had 300 people out of 3,000 people that I identified and approached. And we have clearly some legal depositions, we have some cuts, but...
For months, the palace has been working hard to push attention away from Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Fewer public comments and appearances. The less said, the better. Yet only days ago, Andrew and Sarah Ferguson quietly appeared together in public for the first time since the embarrassment of losing their last royal titles and honors. No balcony moment, no smiles, only a quiet appearance at their granddaughter's christening, followed by a very clear absence from what followed. While other family members went on to a pub for a casual celebration, Andrew and Sarah did not go with them. They left early. And that small detail did not escape notice. At the same time, they are trying to show an image of dignity and normal life. A fresh round of deeply troubling claims about Andrew's conduct behind palace walls is spreading again. Accounts of yelling, punishment routines, staff left in tears, and demands so strange that even long-serving royal aides were said to be shocked. This is not old history returning without reason. It is part of a much wider reckoning the palace can no longer fully manage. That recent outing was supposed to be quiet, private, and easy to forget. Instead, it has sparked renewed attention. Because when a disgraced royal who has lost his titles suddenly appears again, people look closely. They start asking questions and revisit accusations that never truly disappeared. Much of this renewed focus comes from Andrew Lowney's book titled The Rise and Fall of the House of York. Even weeks later, it remains part of the public discussion, largely because the claims come from people inside the system who witnessed Andrew's behavior directly. According to Lowney, Andrew was deeply focused on rank and obedience. Staff members claimed he demanded a bow whenever he entered a room. If someone did not do it correctly, he would reportedly say, "Let's try that again," before stepping out and walking back in, forcing the act to be repeated. Sources say this was not meant as a joke. It was about control. The book also describes Andrew's alleged anger when rules were not followed exactly. Lowney even says Andrew sometimes had to be held back during explosive arguments with his ex-wife, Fergie. Other accusations are far more difficult to brush off as simple mistakes. One aide was reportedly pushed out of his role because Andrew disliked a mole on the man's face. Another was let go for wearing a nylon tie. If true, these choices were not about professionalism. They were driven by personal preference. Staff also spoke of what they described as degrading daily orders. Andrew was said to demand that a servant climb 4 flights of stairs each morning just to open his bedroom curtains, even though he was physically able to do it himself. It was about control, not need. Then there are claims that sound almost unbelievable. A television technician allegedly called late at night simply to explain how a remote control worked. Police protection officers were reportedly sent to retrieve Andrew's used golf balls or to locate women. These were not casual assistants. They were trained officers paid by the public. What makes these claims especially unsettling is when they surfaced. When allegations about Meghan Markle's treatment of staff appeared years ago, Buckingham Palace ordered a formal review. At the same time, insiders say the palace quietly prepared itself for long-standing complaints about Andrew. According to Lowney, there was real concern that years of claims involving bullying and foul language would come out. They never did through official channels, and that imbalance still raises questions. Today, Andrew's standing is weaker than ever. He no longer uses royal titles, he holds no formal role, and sources say King Charles has lost his patience. The monarchy faces enough strain without a disgraced brother causing new headlines. Yet Andrew's appearance at that christening sent a clear message. He has not disappeared. He remains nearby, still linked, still able to pull attention away from the institution at the worst possible time. Behind closed doors, the emotional strain seems to be hitting Sarah Ferguson the hardest. Royal commentator Phil Dampier has said friends are seriously worried about her mental health. He claims she is near breaking point, worn down by constant scrutiny and the pain of seeing her daughters dragged back into controversy. What stands out is that Andrew and Sarah reportedly feel they are being punished again and again for the same failings. The titles are gone, his reputation is beyond saving, yet the stories keep coming. From the palace's perspective, this is not about handing out punishment, it is about damage control. As the year comes to an end, there is little desire for another scandal. Christmas is near, public confidence is shaky, and each new claim, each old story brought back, hits harder than before. That context matters even more now because of the recent release of photographs previously unseen and linked to Jeffrey Epstein. These images, which have resurfaced in recent weeks, show Andrew inside Epstein's circle, looking relaxed, familiar, and clearly comfortable in private settings many now find disturbing given what is known today. Although Andrew has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, the photos have reignited public anger because they seem to fit a wider pattern people feel they recognize. A man who, according to former staff, controlled others, demanded obedience, and punished those below him, appearing entirely at ease in spaces where power and entitlement went unchallenged. For many observers, the images do not exist in isolation. They sit beside years of claims about conduct hidden from public view. Commentators have noted that the images do not bring new accusations by themselves, but they visually strengthen long-running doubts about judgment, privilege, and the company he chose to keep. Several analysts have pointed out that images often carry more weight than words, especially when they seem to support what former staff have said about his sense of authority and freedom from consequences. There has also been a clear change in how the media discusses these photos. Instead of treating them as relics from a closed chapter, they are increasingly presented as part of a larger, unresolved pattern. Legal experts and royal commentators alike have stressed that while Andrew denies all claims, the constant return of these images keeps the issue alive because it clashes so sharply with recent accounts of his private behavior. In short, the public is no longer separating the man seen in these photographs from the man described by former staff. In many people's minds, they are now one and the same. So when you step back and look at everything together, the issue is not about public appearances or official status. It is about conduct. It is about how power was used in private, how staff say they were treated, and why these stories are resurfacing now alongside images so many find deeply troubling. Will this finally lead to a reckoning, or will it fade away again as before? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more royal updates and coverage, don't forget to subscribe.